Attention, attention! It is with great pleasure that I welcome you to the Pixarized Tea Party. What kind of tea party, you ask? Well, T1 and T2, of course. MRI flavors are so in vogue these days. Shall we see what they're serving? First, take a look at our first party guest. See how she is making a little gun with her right hand? At Pixarize, a gun symbolizes the number 1, so this girl stands for T1 imaging. Now let's talk about some properties of T1 imaging, TR and TE. First, let's tackle TR, also known as relaxation time. See that short relaxation pillow in our T1 girl's hand? This should help you remember that T1 imaging has a short relaxation time. Next, take a look at that chair she's sitting in. It kind of looks like it's glowing. Maybe it's heated? Who knows? Regardless, you can remember this as the excitation chair, and it's going to help you remember that the excitation time is short in T1. Don't worry if you don't think that this one is short now. Just wait until you see the T2 chair. And for a quick hint, you can just remember relaxation and excitation times together. They are both short in T1 and both long in T2. And speaking of T2, let's go ahead and introduce our second protagonist. Check it out, T for 2. But wait, why is he wearing shoes indoors? Wait, I've got it. 2 shoe. This must be T2. But you probably already knew that. Now what did I tell you about long chairs? Our Mr. T2 here has a long excitation chair, which represents a long excitation time. And don't forget about that long relaxation pillow on top. Talk about a body pillow. That's right, T2 also has a long relaxation time. Just remember this long relaxation pillow on top of our long excitation chair, and you'll have these facts down. So now that you've listened to the boring stuff, I'll give you what you really want. What's bright and what's dark. Let's start with dark on T1. Turn your eyes to the counter at the back of the room. Whoa. Looks like somebody left this kettle on for too long. This fiery kettle should help you remember inflammation, and it's in the dark part of the kitchen to help you remember that inflammation is dark on T1. Now take a look next to the kettle. A nice refreshing pitcher of water. I guess you have to fill the kettle up with something, right? This should help you remember that water is dark on T1. Now take a look in the middle of the room. Looks like somebody forgot to turn off the water. I mean, seriously, shouldn't somebody have noticed this? Anyway, this rapidly flowing water is in the dark to help you remember flow void. This is a phenomenon in which rapidly flowing fluid, like flowing blood, is dark on imaging. Since the fluid moves so fast, it's out of the MRI beam before it can give off signal. We put this in the middle to help you remember that flowing fluid is dark on both T1 and T2. Makes sense. Now for the bright and shiny stuff. Really just bright stuff. Let's start with bright on T1. See the cup of tea in our T1 girl's hand? This blood red tea in the light should help you remember that blood is bright on T1. Now turn your attention to the middle of the table. See the plate of butter? This should help you remember that fat is bright on both T1 and T2 imaging. And I think our party guests here may have had a little too much. Now back to Mr. T2. See him pouring water into the kettle, eager to steep some fresh tea? The pitcher of water is here in the light because, well, you guessed it, water is bright on T2. What clarity. Okay, so what else is bright on T2? Check out the fireplace at the back of the room. Notice that it's giving off its own light, creating a pleasant glow for everyone involved. Again, the fire here should help you remember inflammation, but this time the fire is so big that it's giving off its own light. This should help you remember that inflammation is bright on T2 imaging. And that's it, folks. I hope you've enjoyed your time at the Pixarized Tea Party. There's obviously more to T1 and T2 imaging than what we covered here, but this should give you a nice starting point for thinking about the scans. For more party gatherings like this, head on over to pixarize.com and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. For more videos like these, click here to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also check out the interactive version of this image at pixarize.com by following the link in the description. If you like what we're doing, share with your friends on social media, and we'll keep making great content like this. We'll see you next time.